Live. Oh, I need to change the camera sizes because I'm asked.
We know what we're doing. We don't have technical difficulties.
No, everyone else knows what they're doing. I don't. Yeah, I'm in.
I
Our
would
faces
not.
are perfectly framed, though. Have you not noticed this?
I think it's fine, Tempus. Hello.
Not fine.
While Tempus is working out our cameras, I'd like to introduce you to today's sunny stream.
Tonight, Matthew, I'm going to be a podcaster.
Oh.
Definitely acting like 100%. How are we in the chat? Sound off in the chat. Bandit is here. Hello, Bandit. You're right. Borders for face cams are overrated. You haven't done this for a while, so I have no idea what's happening.
It was fine. It's because I was dumb and changed the size of Discord after I'd already done this part.
So it's Discord's fault. It's not your fault.
It's always Discord's
Blame Discord.
Okay.
Fucking
I'm gonna
Discord.
sue Discord.
Discord.
Go. Huzzah! It's all good.
Huzzah!
And locked in place, never to be touched ever again.
Have you
Until
tried turning
next
it off?
time.
Let's not go there.
No. Never do that.
We're all
Cool.
here.
We are.
We're
been
live, you guys. So
in about a month.
no swearing. Oh, is that as it?
Well, the last one was our WASD special.
Back.
That was
Here
the
we are,
beginning
we're
of
back.
last month, so. But we're gonna try and be more scheduley again. That's the plan.
Let's say that. Let's do that.
Anyway, we're here now. That's all that matters. Camera, can you not?
Yeah. Can you
Thank you.
just not? I'd like everyone to. I'd like to introduce you to my ghost, which is just here. My ghost, which is actually just me being really fucking lazy, and not wanting to move anything. Galam.
Have rough.
Is that even your giraffe?
It is not,
Got,
but it's been gifted
got
to me
ghost?
by a child, so it's there now.
You need beer in that thing.
I almost did. Oh my god, what camera today? I almost did Bandit. It was almost beer, but I've had a banana, a small chunk of cheese to eat, so maybe not the best.
Oh man, I'd love
That's
some
a really
cheese right
weird
now.
mixture.
Maybe later. Maybe later. So, have we been playing games?
Yeah.
Have we? Have we been
Probably.
playing games?
I've got an entire
You're at home
fucking
soon.
list to prove it.
So I need to bring up my Xbox app because I've forgotten what I've played. So
And
I'm a professional.
I am going off the top of my head.
I've got a list. In fact, you know what? Look, guys, look. It's a list.
Well, we don't need to hear
We've
from
seen
you
it
anymore, Nettle, yet. We've
I
seen
need
your
to hear
list.
from you. Oh, I played something on the Switch as well. What was that called?
Nettle, do you want to start then, as you've got your list?
Yeah, I might as well mind that. So.
Oh my god, your camera. You're like chin on the bottom of the thing on that. Yes.
I need to down a little bit more, because the Discord camera is much bigger than like.
Yeah, I don't know. It's shrunk.
Unless he's a floating head. When am I not a floating head? So first up, Terra Nil actually came out of early access and out of demo a few weeks ago. In fact, I think it was the day we went to WASD. I think it actually came out. And it is a full game, and it's so good. It's so pretty, and you get to save the environment as well as blowing up volcanoes.
Yay, the environment.
Volcanoes. It's really good. You know, it's a really cool indie game. We played it last year at WASD, where it was its first time demoing, and it's had a year in like early access demo to try and work out kinks. And it was really good. They did a really good job with it. There's a few kinks here and there because you can do alternative versions of like the island or the particular map you're on, and some of the text that you get with it definitely doesn't work with the map that you're on. So there's a couple of kinks, but honestly, it was really fun. I can't remember when it was. but I like properly would not play anything else but Terra Nil for a good. Oh, my camera's gone now. It must be the weather. It must be the weather.
Yeah, got to try and do that makeup
No.
influencer thing where they go like this and go, look at my hair, look at my
I
product.
think it's because I've got my glasses on and it doesn't like it. It's fine. There we go.
Wow, glasses.
Glasses. Yeah, I know.
I need my disease. Terra Nil.
Terra Nil. Great indie game. We've spoken about it plenty of times before. I'm not going to pop off about it. Just go and get it. It's nice, you know. Get it. Next one is a group game that me, Tempusbe, Bandit, and Hull played together a couple of weeks ago. It's not the one from last night.
I figured it was
get
there
onto
that one first, yeah.
We played Pico Park, which is the most enraging, cute game I have ever played. Honestly, can't understand how we were all friends by the end of it, but we were. It's basically you're like these little 8-bit pixelated, cat things, and it's a scroller. So you scroll across. You have to complete puzzles together, and you have to be like really. I keep hitting my. That's how angry I am. I'm hitting my microphone. No, you have to like work together to get the puzzles to open the key to open the door, and I cannot tell you how much shouting was happening. We'd get to a certain point, and then somebody would do something, and we'd all die. We'd be like, "What are you doing?" It was friendships were tested. They outlasted, and therefore we will be friends forever.
Bonded forever.
Bonded with trauma.
Yeah, it was really good though. It's not expensive at all. Like, it's a really fun, dare I say, drinking game.
Yeah,
get your alcohol on.
You could certainly do some rules to it.
Yeah, it's fun. It's cute. It's been out for a couple of years now. So yeah, if you ever it's a 4-player game. Get your friends together, have some fun. Just about test out whether somebody's actually your friend. Because if they really hate you by the end of this, then they were never your friend to begin with. But yes, that's the next one. What do I go on to? I'm just going to go to. I've got so many. This week, I played a game that I've been wanting to play for quite some time, Road 96. And we all know how I love my walking simulators, walking driving.
We know that, yes.
Life simulators. Well, this is a driving simulator. You start at a certain point with a certain character. There are many characters, I think 6. And you have to try and get from the point you start to this border crossing. You're in a bit of a weird country that like teenagers are kept in. You're not allowed to cross the borderline. Bit of a tyrannical leader involved. Blah 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 blah. That's the backstory. You forget about it after a while, to be honest. But yes, you have to try and get from where you are up to the border and escape before you're caught by the police or border control. And there's loads of different scenarios. You're going from like, yes, police are running after you, or you go to a trailer park and you make friends with this person. I made friends in one of my runs with a reporter who, quite frankly, was just disturbing. She worked for the tyrannical state, and boy, did I want her to die after a couple of minutes with her. But yeah, so it was good. Good.
I would do that, but I went to go and do it, and Discord closed the cameras again. So I was like, I'm just going to leave it.
Don't leave that to us. I can do that. So yeah, Road 96. It's on Xbox Game Pass. It's free. So, get it. It's free. It's good. It's fun. It's fun. You could spend a good time playing it. I still have 3 characters left. But I think you should be able to pick the other characters, start again, and choose different choices to try and escape. If you don't escape, you get put in this really weird gulag type place. The less said about that, the better. But yeah, it's fun. There is also Mile Zero Road 96, which is the DLC that came out a few weeks ago. So once I'm done with Road 96, I will be going on to Mile Zero. So I'll let you know what that one's about. Right, next one. I can't remember if I spoke about this or not. Blacktail, because I can't remember the last time.
Is that the witch one?
Baba
Yaga, I think you have mentioned.
Baba Yaga.
Ignore that then. So next one, Asterigos, Curse of the Stars, which is, how do I describe this? It's like a Souls-like, so it's kind of difficult. But the antagonist, not the antagonist, the protagonist, is very much like what was the Ubisoft game with the red-headed girl?
The
Greek.
Phoenix Rising,
yeah.
whatever it is, yeah.
The protagonist is very much like that. You come from a Norse like set of people, and you're trying to find your dad and a bunch of people who went into this very godlike city, and then when you go into this godlike city, you find out that everyone's dead or turned into some kind of grotesque creature. So you're running around, you're battling people. The story, I haven't got that far into it because, as I said, it's a Souls-like game. It is hard. You have to master your dodges.
Oh, fucking hate games that rely on dodges.
5Ds of dodgeball.
Dodgeball, yeah. If you can dodge a crocodile throwing itself at you, you can dodge a wrench. What? But yeah, it's hard. I am enjoying it. I am starting to get better at these type of games. At some point, I may actually go back to Elden Ring and try it again. And I'm not saying the only reason I played this game because I wanted to cosplay the protagonist.
Ginger. It's a ginger.
It's the ginger.
I feel like this is not going to be the only time we hear this concept.
A gin. No,
this episode.
Nettle has a type. And it's a very valid type. So we're good. We're Gucci.
Yeah, I have a type. They're ginger. I love them. Next one. Talking about ginger girls. I sat down a few weeks ago and started Horizon Zero Dawn. A good, 4 years after everyone else. And it is a open world actiony RPG game. And the exact problem I thought I'd had with it, I had with it, in that you are a slightly, backward culture, in that you don't have big weapons and stuff. You have a bow and an arrow and a freaking spear, and you are fighting fucking robots. It's mundane and boring.
Oh, you have just controversialed yourself out of our viewership right now.
I
people
know
are just like,
people
you don't like Horizon. What?
But
what?
My problem with it is you are literally fighting these massive robots, these really advanced robots that have lots of bits to them, with a fucking bow and arrow and a fucking spear. It's really monotonous. It's not in. I am playing it. I don't have too big a problem with playing it, but the combat I find boring. I just find it boring. And I've played a good 6 or 7 hours of it now, so it's not like I'm just at the beginning. I am, roaming through the worlds. I've got to the next point. I've got to the big city. I just find it boring. It was nice being on the No Game podcast. I'm gonna let myself out. Tempus is not. Tempus is very.
We can't. You know what? You can't like every game that everybody likes. You're gonna have your limits, haven't you? And you're like, if you don't enjoy it, you don't enjoy it, and that's your vibe. Like,
I know a lot of people, especially us, go, "Well, don't look the look of this game. I'm not gonna play it." But I genuinely, if I tell you there is a reason I haven't played a game because of something, it will genuinely be correct for me. I will not like something because of the reason I've given, and this is exactly that. I just fighting these robots with fucking bow and arrow is just like, great, fine, whatever. Jesus Christ. But before Tempus really hurts me.
Look at the rage in Tempus's eyes.
I'm
so mad.
No, I know where she's coming from, because they've got fucking rocket launchers and laser guns and all that kind of stuff, and you are running around with a spear and a bow and an arrow. But at the same time, you can knock those things off of the things and then use them against them.
I know. It's just, it was so. I just couldn't get it.
It's fine, like you said.
The wandering around and like the storyline I'm getting, it's great. It's fine. It's brilliant. As an actual game, it's fantastic. But the combat, nah. It's just not for me. I'm going to continue playing it. I will finish this fucking game and I will go on to Forbidden West and the DLC stuff. I will. Because I like the stories and I like the outfits. But the actual combat, it's not for me.
That's fair. It's like you said, every game is not for everyone. So
yeah, precisely.
That's what opinions are. They're opinions.
Yeah. So next one, going completely different direction here. I decided to get a Switch game we've had a few long weekends, shall we say. So last weekend I sat down after having a lot of exercise and rubbish and just wanting to sit on the sofa, and I downloaded Fire Emblem Three Houses. It is a turn-based combat thing. And turn-based combat isn't necessarily a thing that I usually go for. I do get a little bored of it after a while, but it's actually really fun. I'm really enjoying the different skills that people in the house that I've chosen has got. The story is really interesting. It's a long game as far as I can tell from on people what I've said online and how it goes forward. But there's also it's interesting because you've got the combat thing, but then you've got this bit where you can go into a third person running around the school or cathedral, whatever it's called, and talk to people, and it's kind of cool. It kind of feels like what Harry Potter should have been like. Yeah, I'm really enjoying it. It's fun. I didn't think I would. I did not think that I would enjoy the Fire Emblem things. A lot of people go on about them. A lot of people cosplay from them. But yeah, I'm really enjoying it. I will continue to play it, and yes, I will probably cosplay from it.
A ginger.
Not only is there a ginger girl, there are two ginger girls. There is one ginger girl with the exact same hairstyle as me, and I'm like, oh my god, I don't have to wear a wig. This is absolute heaven. But there is a second ginger girl called Annette. So for the people in chat who don't know, Annette is my real name. They have copied me. They have copied my likeness. They haven't copied my likeness. She's way prettier and thinner than me. But I'm like, dude. There are ginger people to cosplay here.
They were nailed on, done.
Yeah, gotta do it. Second to last, we did replay some Phasmo. Last week, before whenever it was. There are some new bits to it. It's Phasmo, it hasn't changed a great deal. It's got a little bit harder. There are some new things. There are some new ghosts. It's still the same old Phasmo. It's still fun to play with your friends.
August.
And fun to play with your friends and stand in the van while they all die. So that one. And now the last one, which played me.
Who kept dying?
Yeah, you.
Hey, I think I died I think I only didn't die twice.
Yeah, that's what it
said.
Did you take... Well, I sit in the van, everybody else dies.
Tempusbe, you're just taking one for the team.
You have to
die so the others can live.
To be fair, most of the time I was like, I'm not escaping. I might as well just try and take a picture.
Yeah, true. Yes, and last one, which we played last night. With Tempus, me, and Hall on our usual Saturday night shenanigans. We and Bandit. Sorry, Bandit.
Zonked is in the house.
Zonked.
And we played a game that came out this week. It was not particularly well received. We played Redfall. I understand why it was not particularly well received. It is very buggy. There are a lot of issues.
We had so many.
I'm going to, because I think Tempest will probably have a proper conversation about this because obviously you played it as well, but I'm going to go past the bugs for now. When we got to the storyline, to the combat, the looter shooter running around, See,
I'm going to talk about it too.
Have to have a proper conversation.
Let's have this conversation now.
Yeah, we've all played it, so we might as well talk about it.
Yeah, we've all played it. Yeah. When we got to the combat, the looter shooter, the actual nitty gritty of the game, it was good. And I want to say this, for a looter shooter, it is good. The looter shooter part is good. It's easy to understand. There are a lot of stuff that you can pick up. You can even give stuff to other people as well. It did remind me a lot of Borderlands and what you were doing. We haven't got to a big vampire yet, so I don't know what the loot with them will be like. But when we were able to play properly, I had fun. However, getting to play properly was the biggest issue. It wouldn't load people in properly. The net scaler was terrible. People were doing things that others couldn't see. At one point, we reloaded the start and we couldn't see the boat that we were meant to be on. It was just environmentally scenery in the background that we could see. People got booted out, and when they got back in again, they were at completely the wrong level, even though they should be back at the same level, because that is what the asynchronous like position of it is. When you go into you go into a game with somebody who's already hosting, you should just go back into the level that you were. It is not a new game for you. It should just pick it back up again. There were so many system issues. There was fundamentally something has happened. I don't know what it is. It may have to do with the fact that this is the first time that they've used Unreal. They used to use their own engine. What a drip or drop or something, I can't remember now. But this is the first time they've used Unreal. Unreal 4, not even Unreal 5. So, feels like people hadn't got the skills for Unreal. Because ultimately the problem was a back-end problem. There were also some material issues, and there was stuff like not loading properly from that sense of view. But I can look past that because it was only small bits. But there is a definite fundamental back end issue here that was causing the main problem with the system.
So you guys are playing on PC, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, we're using it's on the Xbox Game Pass version.
It's not that.
Hello, Master Dan.
Between Xbox and PC, there's not that much difference anymore.
We had no issues with player being able to load in. We've had no issues with that. I've had 2 texture issues, and that was people like falling through the floor, and when you were looking at them, they were holding a gun but weren't holding a gun in a safe house. I've not had any other issues with it. So I don't know whether it's a PC issue for the connectivity, because we just literally jumped in a game and it was fine, and we've done it a couple of nights and we've been absolutely fine with it. And I'm with you, Nettle. Like, the story is fun, gameplay is fun. It looks like Arcane. Like, you look at, I know it was a smaller department of Arcane, but when you look at like the textures of the faces of, specifically for me, the Reverend lady, you look at her and you go, that's Arcane. That's an Arcane face. But yeah, I haven't seen any of the problems, and it might be because we were all playing on Xboxes. All of us were playing Series X Xboxes, so maybe that was the issue. Well, we didn't have issues with connectivity because we were all playing on the same spec, essentially.
Yeah, but I mean, I get that, but we were all playing on the Game Pass version of Redfall on the PC. I know, like, obviously all our PCs have slightly different specs or whatever, but we're still using it all from the same source.
I mean, it's not really a PC port though, Zonk. That's the point with Xbox now. There isn't necessarily a port for PC between Xbox and PC. And no, as far as I'm aware, it is not made for Xbox. I know they call it an Xbox exclusive, but again, there is so little difference in PC and Xbox now. I mean, in fact, I think it's just the PC is just a bit more powerful because you could make it more powerful.
I think like really the the main issue we kind of had was when we first started. Like, we managed to all load in together, start the game. Only two people got the cutscene. Two of us went straight into the game, and then Hole couldn't pick up anything. She couldn't pick up a gun or anything like that. So we reloaded in it again, and then I can't remember what the issue was, but we basically played for a little bit, and then we had that's it, because we got into the firehouse. Like, this is a little bit of spoiler if you haven't played it or whatever, but like, obviously we get to the firehouse, which is the safe house, and you have to kill a vampire. But this vampire was nowhere in the building,
wasn't there.
So we had to shut the game down, reload it back up, and once we reloaded it back up the third time, we then started getting voice lines as well for the characters.
Yeah,
it was weird.
I'm not defending it because it has its problems and it was released too early and they shouldn't have pushed it out, and I agree with all of that. It might be that we had all played the first bit alone, so we hadn't tried to load up together. We had all played on our own, and then one hosted and carried on from where they had finished after doing all of those bits, because we were told, or we had read, that you do the first mission by yourself.
Yeah. You don't have to.
No, that's what I mean. Like, a lot of multiplayer games like that nowadays make you do the first mission, then it unlocks multiplayer. But obviously, this gives you the option to play it together from the start. Which, personally, if you're going to play with friends, you want to do it all together from the start, don't you? Really?
Yeah, but this game is very difficult for a multiplayer game to be a multiplayer game. I really hate the fact that your progression, unless you're hosting, doesn't stay. Why make a multiplayer game that you then are not playing in multiplayer? You're playing a single player game in multiplayer, which I think is dumb. I do not like that.
I think it's a ridiculous idea. Like, if you're playing through the story, why don't you just save the story progression for everyone that's in the game? If you want to play a different character and start again, you just do that. You know, that has annoyed me a little bit. I mean, Bandit started hosting, and then when we had issues, he suggested that I host. So I've hosted it from the start to where we are now. So obviously, if anyone wanted to play it again and carry on from their stuff, but they can't unless I'm kind of there to host it now. You know, it kind of shoehorns you into playing.
It was a very strange decision, that one. Really strange.
I hope they kind of patch that.
I think they will. Although I hope they patch it. I think they will. I don't think it's a quick patch. I think that one takes a while.
No. I mean, I'm going to carry on playing it just because we're enjoying the story and we need something to play on a Thursday, which is
for sure
4 people gaming night. So, you know, it's despite what's wrong with it, and I know everyone's talking about the FPS, like it only running at 30 frames a second. That is not something that ever bothers me. My eyes cannot tell. I cannot, because I'm a console gamer. I don't know. If my partner came down and went started watching, going, that's running real shit. I don't know. I absolutely don't know.
I think this is the thing. Console players won't notice much. They are used to 30 FPS now. PC players, we notice when things are not running smoothly because we are spoiled the fuck. We are very spoiled that we can run most games at 60 or above. We are spoiled bastard. But yeah, there was some tearing, not a great deal. There was there was a lot of jitteriness until we turned what was it called that we turned down?
Motion blur
down. But
that was awful. That was fucking awful.
Yeah, I always have a problem with motion blur. That one gets off.
Same. I always turn it off because it makes me feel sick.
I think, there's definitely some issues. There are definitely some things that they have to think about because they did not release the game in a state that they should have at all. Like,
I don't want to go into a rabbit hole or anything like that, but when do people release games that are fucking ready these days? It does my nut. Like, just, I know gamers don't like delays, and that we shout about it and go, we don't want a delay, just release the game. But then when they release the game without actually it being finished, we're pissed at that too. We can't have our cake and eat it, gamers. It's either or. Okay, you allow the delay and you allow a game to be good when it comes out, or you have a shitty game when it comes out.
I mean, I'd personally rather just wait. I'd rather it be a good game.
I don't think games should be announced until alpha has been passed.
Thank you. I agree. Don't announce a game when it's not ready to be announced.
No.
Look at what it's doing to my forehead.
She's getting wrinkles. Directors, come on.
Yeah, see,
I've had to buy expensive skincare because of you.
Rather a game get delayed to get it right. The thing is, what I'm saying is, if they didn't announce it so early, if they waited to announce it, there wouldn't be these delays, perceived delays. Obviously, the game would be delayed from the company and the publisher point of view, but nobody would know about them until much later down the line when they are in a much better state. There wouldn't be a customer delay because we wouldn't know. Let the game pass the milestones that are important before you announce it. And yes, I speak from fucking
True Sora said some use early access as an excuse too.
Well, early access is actually a really good thing because you can release it in a state and you know what that state is, and then you can keep working on it. There's no delay because there's no date to announce it coming out of early access yet. And when you are ready to bring it out of early access, that's when you announce.
Early access games aren't full price either. Yes. Usually you don't pay a full £60 or $60 or whatever for that game, because early access means it's not going to be to a polished spec, and they are the reason they're releasing it in early access is usually to make money to finish it. So I expect, I'm not in the biz, I don't know. So, and that then people buying them and then being able to approve, that's how it's going to be. When you release a AAA title, and I'm talking to also Jedi Survivor as well, from what I've heard, you expect a polished game it fucking works. And when you've pushed it out, because either you've been told to or whatever. I don't understand all of that bits. I'm just coming from what I read on the internet, and you can't take that as gospel. But when you're releasing a AAA game and I realise Redfall's different because it's on Game Pass, but if you pay for Redfall or you pay for Jedi Survivor, you're paying 60-70 quid for a game that you can't really play. And I guess Redfall gets a bit of a pass because it is on Game Pass, and we're playing it essentially for free. However, that's not how that should not be the excuse.
There are plenty of people who have paid $70 for this game because they don't have Game Pass.
Have Game Pass.
Yeah.
I understand Microsoft at the moment has a problem competing with Sony, and that they need to release games for themselves. I understand that. But you've got the flip side of the coin here. If you're going to release it too soon and it's not good enough to play, that is actually more of a hindrance to you than people saying Microsoft have no games.
Because it's going to be better if it no games, and when they do bring games out, they're shit.
They're shit. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So just wait.
Right.
Like you did the same with Halo. And I loved Halo. I really enjoyed Halo Infinite. My problem is I would have loved to have played Halo Infinite with my friends day one, like I have been able to do with every other Halo game I've played. And I wasn't able to do that, and that's a real hindrance. I'm not going back to it now that we've got multiplayer to play because I've already finished it. I don't want to go back and replay it again to play with my friends. I should have just had that chance to do it in the first place. And it's, Microsoft are going to have... Caleb. Don't make us stop. Anyway, that was my problem. That's my problem with. I've lost all rails and all thought now.
The child is interrupted.
Sorry.
I know, but I do want to say, and
it's all right. It's my brain.
I do want to say, I've read the, read the Metacritic scores. Yes, it's a pain in the ass when you can't get in. Yes, it's really annoying when bugs happen right from the start. But the game in itself, the actual playing of it is not as bad as what some people are saying, and this is actually one of the times where I say the critics have got the better reviews and got it right in comparison to normal people. Because they very much have said there are bugs, that there are very much issues here, but the game is a looter shooter. It is a good looter shooter.
Well, we played, once we got going yesterday, it was really good, really enjoyable, and we started to level our characters up, and we're planning to play some more this evening, so it's not like we played it and was like, you know what, I don't want to do that again.
It's awful, yeah.
To get me out of my rage of this game and releasing games, I would like to know what classes you two are playing. Which characters are you two playing?
Oh, Remy.
Dev.
I am Jacob.
Yeah.
Because he's got a bird.
I mean, Jacob was probably was taken straight away, off the.
Bandy. Bandy got Jacob.
And the thing is, I don't mean that as in, because I looked at Bandy. I looked at Jacob and I was like, you know what, that's the one I really like the look of. But at the same time, I was like, if we can play these different characters with different times with different people, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
No, exactly.
And I'm being honest, I quite enjoy Dev's kit. His translocator is really cool.
Yeah, he's got really cool stuff, and we've got a party of 4, so we have everybody, and we can see what everybody has to then use for the next round that we go around. But going to the good points of Redfall, it's got absolutely my vibe. Every word I read, I'm like, they've made this game specifically for me.
Yeah.
You've got the dead eye, the dead eye with the dead eye, right?
Yeah.
You've got that phrase there is just like, okay, this guy's got a scary eye, and he's got a bird, and he looks like a sexy vampire guy. I'm on board. Then you've got Dev, who is a ghost hunter. Okay, if you know me in real life, you know I'm sitting there watching really dumb fucking ghost hunting shows because I'm an absolute piece of shit. You've got a girl that has a vampire boyfriend. Okay, you've got a cool girl with really amazing hair who wears really cool outfits who has a vampire boyfriend.
Yeah.
And then you got someone with a robot. All of my boxes are ticked for this game. So I'm going to carry on playing it because it's made for me.
The one thing I will complain about is the fact that Dev does not shut the fuck up about Jacob's crow.
Oh.
It's literally every time it gets used, he has to spout one of 2 voice lines. I'm like, please stop. Please. I don't need to hear that voice line every time an ability is used.
I'm just gonna quote Bird right now. Raven.
He said, who did he say hello to somebody? And we didn't realise the bird could speak, and we were like, the bird spoke!
It should only say, my gripe with this, my other gripe, is he should only say nevermore. Nevermore.
Yeah.
Nevermore.
Except he just goes, Raven.
I do want to just take it back to what Drusora said there about Nintendo has been doing that quite a bit, announcing games when they're nearly finished, and it's like, hey, here's a new game and it's coming in 3 months.
Yeah.
And to add to that point as well, sometimes in their direct, they're like, look at this cool game, it's available now. Like it's the first time you've heard of it, and it's like, it's now out.
Yeah. I don't know how Zelda's going to be, but Zelda releases next week, and I'm very fucking excited. If you know that, I've preloaded it today.
Bendy will be playing it while we podcast.
Yeah, she will be here.
Absolutely. Annoying thing is though, I'm working Friday and I'm busy Friday night and I'm busy Saturday, and I'm like, why have I planned my life for not playing Zelda? What's wrong with me?
I mean,
it's called growing up, Bendy.
So old. Should have booked off work. But anyway, hey, and I'm just gonna sound off people in the chat. We said hi to Zonked. Master Dan's here. Hey, Master Dan. Ash, hi Trisora. Ashley, how you doing? I know you're excited for Zelda, because yeah. Anyway, but I no, what I was trying to say, was that Nintendo don't tend to release buggy games.
Yes,
like in general, they're quite good with their quality assurance. Like, whereas, and it might be the fact that they don't release. I mean, they released. They told us about Zelda very early on, but that's because everybody knew it was going to come.
Yeah.
But also, I don't think they got
a date. They never gave us a date, because remember we were talking about this a lot.
Yeah, it will never be released. But when they did give us, they did say, "Oh, we're gonna have a delay." They hadn't given a date yet, but they came out and they said, "We're expecting it to come out later than we think." So when they did delay it, they never gave us a date in the first place. They said it will be around this time, and then finally they went, "Right, it's ready to go. Here's your date," and everyone went,
"Cameras have gone."
Oh no!
Okay, fine. I didn't. Tempus isn't going to want to play with me anymore.
Love in the house. Yeah. Is that all your list now, Nettle? Is that you done?
Done. Obviously Destiny 2 as well.
Tempy! Yeah, obviously. What you been up to, my dude?
Heard that they're growing a weed farm, apparently.
I've been absolutely fucking loving watching your TikToks of GTA. I've just, when I stumble across them, I'm like, guys, I've got to play GTA with you soon. When I get my PC belt, I've got to play some GTA with you.
I don't have enough room on my PC for it.
I apologise. I'd muted myself, Trusora, because my child keeps coming in and crying. So, yes, what I did say was I've been playing GTA online. You've only missed that one thing. Valorant, not as much as we have been, but still playing it and enjoying it. I've had a little return to Animal Crossing the last couple of weeks. I don't know, how dare they interrupt a podcast? He wants to dig up the street outside, and I'm telling him no.
You do a better job than BT.
Yeah. I did. There's two games. These are the two I'll probably talk a little bit at length at. Two new games I've tried. Obviously played Redfall and Pico Park. We've already gone over those. But I did try the Speedstorm trial, the Disney Speedstorm trial that's on PlayStation. It's a really good game, and it's the fact that it's going to be free as well. I mean, I know you can pay for it now, get the early access and everything, but like the 2 hours I played on it, really good. Bendy has said it before in the past. Honestly, the music in this game fucking slaps. Like the remix. What is it? They do remixes of songs from films. This is Disney Speedstorm. It's Disney racing game.
Oh, okay.
It's going to be free to play, cross play.
Oh, yeah, okay. Okay, cool.
But like they do remixes of songs from the films, like in the levels that you're playing. And honestly, the Hercules one is a banger, but the one in Mulan, oh my god, that thing fucking rocks. So I would suggest, if you've got the PlayStation Plus thing and you've got the free trial to do it. Yeah, I mean, I get it, because the thing is, obviously it's free to play, But there is going to be a battle pass. There is going to be cosmetics you can buy. Blah blah blah. But like, just for a free racing game, it's so good. The drifting takes a little bit to get used to because it's not like Mario Kart where you kind of do your hop and then you do it. Like, you can practically drive down straights drifting. It's not like a thing that really does huge help in turning. It's more about you drift to fill up your boost meter. So it's, I mean, there is a bit of turn to it, but it's not like you can practically, like I said, go down a straight, still kind of drifting. It's pretty good. And like, there's challenges, there's online competitive, you can do all custom games. There's the battle pass games where you race on like a new map, because the season 1 is Monsters Inc. The battle pass, you unlock Sully and Mike as you play along. But there's also like chapters, so you play a chapter and you play as a certain racer, completing races. And you earn medals, which unlocks things to upgrade characters and stuff. So I really enjoyed that. Really good. 2 hours was not enough. I kind of begrudge paying £25 to play it now, when it's going to be free eventually, but we'll see.
Drifting.
Absolute Tokyo drifting.
Just Minnie Mouse Tokyo drifting around.
Minnie Mouse ain't in the game at the minute.
What?
There's 18 characters so far. Mickey, Donald, and Goofy. Belle, Beast. Hercules, Meg. Sully, Mike. Whatever her face is, the one with the snake hair. Mike's girlfriend.
Oh, yeah.
Something May.
I don't know.
Something May. Randall. And there's Mulan and Shang.
Do they have cool outfits?
They have racing outfits.
There's
also Jack Sparrow and Meg. Meg? Not Meg, it's fucking something Sparrow.
Elizabeth
Swan, that's it. They're the two from
Meg.
They're the two from Pirates of the Caribbean, but
yeah.
Yeah, no, it's really good. I'll probably give that a decent, it'd be something cool to just jump on and play, and be a good Saturday night one every now and then as well, something a bit different. But before I carry on boring Nettle with my talking, I'll go on to my last game, which I'm taking slow because I kind of don't want to just rush through it. It's Kena and the Bridge of Spirits.
Nice.
I'm really enjoying that game. It's really good fun. Like, the combat isn't overly strenuous, but it's enough to keep you involved, if you know what I mean. Like, there's no real, like, I like the fact that you obviously, she gains different abilities. Spoilers, but the game has been out for a while now. As you go on, she starts with a spear, which turns into a bow. She then gains bombs, which you can shoot, which blow up enemies and stuff. And the fact that you're collecting these little rot, and then every time you go somewhere, like I went to an area, got a chest, turned around to jump back over it, and they're all just stood waiting for me on the opposite side. And I've got like 50 odd of these right at the moment. And they're all just stood there. Cute. And the fact that you can buy hats for them all as well. It's I've been saving all my money for that. I had like $6,000 and I went down to $2,000 when I went back to the village. But I don't think I'm I'm far from the end of it, because I don't think, is it a particularly long game?
It's not hugely long, no.
Because I've done 2 masks.
2
and
bosses.
I've just been given the mask for the guy at the top, which is the mountain.
It does go on a little bit further from there, but yeah, you're closer to the end than you are the beginning.
Yeah, no, I did figure. That's why I got that, and I was like, I'll savor this for another day for the minute. But the thing is as well is, like, it opens up into these areas where you need to go and basically collect artifacts to restore the area and free a spirit. The idea of it. But you open these areas up, and considering they're only like little self-contained areas where you're supposed to do certain missions, certain things, they are still very vast. There is still so much to run around, try and find. Like, the rot. There's statues you can correct. There's all the chests. Just so many different things, and God knows how much I've actually missed. And I've not been trying to. I've been trying to run around and do everything, but I'd imagine I have to, if I wanted to collect everything, I'd have to go back through it once I've finished it. Once you've got everything from the game, to be able to then go back to older parts of it and make sure you've got everything. But no, I'm really enjoying it. Story is really, really fun. Quite sad at times, we'll say. But the artwork is brilliant as well. I do like a nice cartoony art style, but it's it's a very clean looking game, and it plays very well. Highly recommend Kena.
Would you say you were keen for Kena?
I'm gonna hang on. I'd like to reply to that with load your.
See, I don't know. Can I use? I don't think I can use the ones from my server.
No, you can't.
Which is a shame. Well, I added a new one just for you last night, Nell. So.
Did you?
Yeah.
I've got to play that when we're in the game tonight.
Yes. Anyway, that's me. I'm done. Thank you.
Thank you, chat. Thank you.
That joke had a lot of spirit. Oh God, not someone else.
I'm gonna reply to that joke, Ashley, with.
Tempus is now just like, why do I do this with these two?
You pronounced Natalie wrong.
I've been seeing these in the Discord and I don't understand,
right,
so I might have to go and
I'm gonna
watch some TikToks. Maybe.
No, I mean I will explain. Nettle raided out last night after her stream, and she went into someone's. Like, she obviously raided out to someone, and they read her name when she raided in. And said, thanks for the raid, Natalie." So now she is known as Nettlecreates.
Nettlecreates.
Honestly, I know that's the thing. It doesn't sound as so funny coming from me. It's one of them things where you need to kind of be there in the moment.
There and hear it, yeah.
But like, obviously, for like 20 minutes in the Discord, we were all crying from laughter. And yes, obviously, it confused a lot of people in the Discord because they did not know what was going on. But there is the explanation. It's out there in the universe. Bendy, what have you been playing?
Well, you would think a lot, but no, not a lot. Not a lot at all. So I got like a little thing from work, which I decided to get a Nintendo voucher for. So I bought a little game called Have a Nice Death, which sounds really pleasant.
I love that game.
It's a roguelike game where you play as Death himself, the Grim Reaper, and he's so freaking cute. He's so freaking cute. And basically, you've outsourced all of your reaping to a bunch of other things, and they've just gone buck wild, haywire. And then you as Death, who's doing a bunch of paperwork, has to go and just clean up messes. And it's just, typical roguelike where you just make your way through and you make your way to a boss, and if you die you have to then do it again, but then you can gather powers and things, and it's really fun and it's really cute and it's really nice, and it's just like quite a stressful, relaxing game where you can just like sit back and just give it a run and see how you do. I'm very fucking shit at it because I am bad. I am bad at video games, but it's just so cute, and you like do things with your scythe, and it's really cute, and all the characters are really cute, and there's a little guy that's just a pumpkin head, and he's really cute, and yeah, so I'd suggest playing it. And I only ended up playing with my voucher like £6 for it. I think it's like a 20 quid game or something, or £25 game. So yeah, I'd recommend playing that. It's nice and short if you just want to like quick bursts on your Switch or whatever. And then obviously I played Redfall. We've talked about that, so cross that off. Before we played Redfall though, we went back and went into Back for Blood with their DLC that they have, which is the Children of the Worm. So you got you got a couple more acts that you can play, and you have a storyline of like a cult around the Ridden, and some of the Ridden now are able to speak and stuff. Didn't really understand it, but it was good fun. I like playing Back for Blood. It's good to just run around in and shoot zombie-like creatures, and then you've got just extra bits to do. And they've got a really cool you go for a museum or a natural history museum, and you go to like a observatory, and it's quite fun to have different sort of things. And you know, you can find a secret in a dinosaur's bum, so that's fun. Secret in a dinosaur's bum. Good
Where
stuff.
else would you keep it?
Exactly. So that's pretty fun. I played the open beta for the Diablo 4. I haven't bought it because I have to ration my money and my being able to spend it. But yeah, I really enjoyed it, and I will buy it once I've probably finished Zelda, so in probably about 2 years' time. That was good fun. And I think sort of the most, and I played like some small games just to, so I played a game called Moonscape, which is again like a roguelike Castlevania sort of pixel art game. I didn't enjoy it too much. I just did it because Game Pass and extra reward points. So, but I thought it looked cool, so I gave it a try and got a few achievements in it and got some extra reward points. I know it's probably not a great reason to play a game, but it was free. So, but the game I'm going to mention that very new and I'm really enjoying, although it's really hard. I've been playing The Last Case of Benedict Fox.
Yay! I was hoping you'd pick that up.
So it's on Game Pass, so I didn't have to pay any money for it. And yeah, the art style, brilliant. Like when we saw it in that showcase, I was like, I'm going to pick this up. This is definitely a game for me. What I didn't realize is its difficulty. However, if you just want to run through the story and you just want to find out what's happening within it, you can turn off any puzzle solving, and it just automatically then you can open doors and stuff where there's puzzle doors. I'm not playing it that way, although I might turn to play it that way because I don't have a lot of time, and you know, but the puzzles are really challenging, and it like helms right back to sort of like your really old, it's not point and click, and I'm not saying it's point and click, but you know, really difficult 80s 90s point and click games, like the original Curse of Monkey Island sort of style of, you have to write down this piece of information to then use it later. And so there's like just an example, there's a door that has a bunch of symbols on it, and you have like a time limit to open this door. You have to open up a diary that you collect, which has symbols on it, which then correlate to numbers. So then you have to work out what these symbols are in the numbers from the book. And it's really hard to read because it's just like just down at the bottom. So what I did is I took a picture of it when it was open in a big, so I could then scroll into it and actually have a look at what numbers correlate. But yeah, so you have like a symbol, like a runish symbol, and we made up of 4 runish symbols on this diary entry, which then correlates to a number, and then you then choose the number to then open the door, and that's how difficult it is. So you need to figure out that this is made up of 3 symbols, which then correlates to this number. And yeah, I'm not great at it, but I'm intrigued to carry on trying to figure out more in it. And the combat's really fun. I'm trying to read things, but I can't do 2 things at once, so I can't speak and read what's going on in the chat. But yeah, so and the art style, as I said, lovely. It's very eldritch. It's very H.P. Lovecraft. It's I don't think this is a spoiler because I think it's like a part of the game. As soon as you enter the game, you realize you have like some kind of demon attached to you. And I think that was quite obvious from the promotional works and stuff. But the way that you are in a house, like not a big house, but the way that you get extra bits of the game is really interesting. So if you do decide that you just want to run through the game and not do any of the missions, it's still like Castlevania-ish, and you go back and you go round and you go into extra areas when you get extra bits. And yeah, it's highly recommend. I'm going to get back to playing it. I've probably played about 4 or 5 hours of it so far. I literally just could not stop. And I'm not far into it at all, because I'm like, where am I going? What am I doing? Who is this? What's going on? And also the puzzles are too hard for my dumb little brain. But I'm still trying. I'm still trying.
She's
yeah,
trying.
I'm trying. I'm probably just gonna turn off things and just like work my way through it. But
I wish that was an option in real life.
Yeah, exactly. Turn off difficulty. Just make it super easy. But yeah, pick it up. Try it. It's on Game Pass. We love Game Pass.
Zonkt is ready to play it.
Very, very good. Very fun to play.
He wants 10 points.
Yes. I did end up. I just ended up getting a bunch of achievements just from, playing it, and they're like kept on popping. I was like, ooh. It's an achievement grabber.
Careful, you get addicted to those and you end up like Zonkt. Having to complete every game.
My puny 57,000 Gs is puny compared to Zonx's.
Over 500,000, early.
I'm gonna do an annoyance. I'm gonna do an annoyance for Redfall. Why would you program achievements that have not round numbers? Don't give me 17 Gs for an achievement, Redfall. Don't. I have now got 7 at the end of my G number, and I can't deal with it. Why would you give me 17 Gs?
Clearly, there's another achievement later on that's got a 3 at the end of it that will round it up again.
So they've got multiples of 7 which get to it. So you've got like 10 17G ones, which then get back to 0. But still, it's not a round number right now, and I'm angry. That's the worst thing about this game. It's not the graphical fidelity or anything like that. I can't deal with unrounded numbers. Anyway, that's what I've been playing.
Excellent. I did try the demo of that, so it was pretty cool from what I played. But
yeah,
I know what you mean. It's weird because I played it on Steam, so I was just using mouse and keyboard at the time, and like obviously, I kind of feel like it's the same kind of concept. Like it's got that. It's like Orion, the Will of the Wisp, or whatever, the Blind Forest. Like it's that kind of style of gameplay. We go in sideways and you go up and down into different areas and things. So it looks quite cool if you like that kind of style of game.
I did a really annoying jumping puzzle, and it took me like 20 minutes to get in there, and there was nothing in the room, and that made me really angry. I was like, what? Why have you got this jumping puzzle and there's nothing in the room? Just a shortcut.
Imagine you just get in there and it's just a note. Ha ha.
Yeah. I mean, I do have to ask why you're playing a game like that on mouse and keyboard, Tempus.
It's because it was the Steam. It was just the Steam demo.
Oh right.
And I just thought I'd give it a go or whatever. Trying to play more mouse and keyboard, okay?
Yeah, 2.5D games are not your mouse and keyboard games. Don't play them as a keyboard.
I probably won't this time, but
no, please don't.
So we've ranted about Redfall.
All the way through this. Playing it, though.
We've been going for over an hour. We've only just got through the games we've played because we've been ranting about Redfall. Nettle, what's your news?
It's about Redfall.
Shit! I forgot to get news.
I
did too. I got it just before we started.
It's not proper news. Wait. I just want to talk about. You can share my news if you want.
It's fine. I'm just gonna read the first one that comes up on Google.
Fair. I just want to talk about the fact that Phil Spencer has actually come out and Everyone's saying it's an apology for it coming out in that state. I mean, I've read his quote several times. It's not really an apology. Sorry is not used at any point.
What word does he use?
So he came out and was just saying, I'm upset with myself. I'm like, why? You literally had nothing to do with this. Like, you literally, the top of Microsoft, I can absolutely tell you, has absolutely nothing to do with how and when and why this game comes out in any state. But he said, I'll just say what's up. There's nothing that's more difficult to me than disappointing the Xbox community. I've been part of it for a long time. Yes, you are, Daddy Xbox. I obviously work on Xbox head of the business. A lot of friends get a lot of feedback, and just to watch the community lose confidence, be disappointed, I'm disappointed. I'm upset with myself. I revisit our process, look back on the announcement of the 60 FPS, and then we weren't shipping FPS. That our punch in the chin rightfully a couple of weeks ago, and then seeing the game out and the critical response was not what we wanted, and it's disappointing. What we can learn, what can we get better? One thing I'll fight is what went wrong. Clearly, the quality and execution things we can do, but one thing I don't do is push against the creative aspirations of our teams. I'm taking that not the way a lot of people have taken that. That to me is they did what they want to do. They did what they wanted to do. Yes, Microsoft still has yes and no on these things. A lot of people will say, hey, you've got teams know how to do this kind of game, so you force them to do one kind of game, proven track record, blah 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 blah. There's a lot of spiel, like comparing it to other games, like obviously Sea of Thieves, when that came out, also had a very critical similar response. Blah 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 blah. It's a very long quote. I don't know why I'm reading it all by part. I really should have cacked it, but the thing about team's execution in the game, we had creative vision, and we did realize that vision through the game we created. Question. It's not a delay question if the answer is no. This isn't a Redfall specific conversation. We will build games that review in the high 80s, and we will build games that review in the 60s. As part of being game publishing, if you're afraid of that, then you shouldn't be in the entertainment business. Basically, what he's saying is they did some pre-reviews for it, and some pre-scoring for it, and none of it came back as bad as what people are saying now. None of it. It was 20 score below what they'd had it reviewed at in their pre-release reviews, their in-house pre-release reviews. So who they were using, I don't know. Whether there was a patch that went in afterwards that fucked everything up is quite the possibility. What he's saying is basically there would have been no point delaying it because of what people are saying. It was a bad story and a lot of people are saying it went in a direction that didn't really feel like it had been going in that direction, and then there's something else happened and it doesn't seem like it knits together. And from what I've seen, that's not the case. So I'm not really sure what those people have. Obviously, we're still really early in the game, so I'm not sure. I can't speak for that, but what he's saying doesn't ring true, because the majority of people are saying that it should have been delayed because it's buggy. And yes, you absolutely should delay a game because it's buggy. It's got nothing to do with the creative resources or creative decisions that were made. So he basically says a lot of shit that doesn't really hold up, because I don't think he quite understands what's gone on. It genuinely feels like there's been a patch in between that nobody's tested properly. Would have been the day one patch.
A huge day one patch.
A huge day one patch. He's not mad, he's disappointed. Yeah, exactly. But yeah, it's just basically he's done this really big long spiel apology about the fact that when they were launching, if pre-launch reviews were good, and obviously they would, if the pre-launch reviews weren't as good as they were, they wouldn't have launched. Whether we hear any more about this, I don't know. There's going to be a lot of internal inquiries about it, a lot of internal what the hell has happened.
They're not going to want this to happen to any other games that are going to be coming out soon, do they? So
Absolutely not. Microsoft can't afford to. not in a money sense,
No.
but in a reputational sense. So yeah.
Yeah, but it's more a case of if this is the quality of game that's going to be released, people are just going to not bother playing it, are they? Like they'll just go, well, we won't play it day one. We'll wait for 6 months, let patches come out, and then we'll start playing it. Doesn't help you, does it?
No. So yeah, my news is just Big Daddy Spencer is not happy. Not happy. Oh. He doesn't really know why he's not happy. And that's my news.
Nice. So, I'll carry on with other people that are not happy.
Yeah, go for it.
So, obviously, another game that released recently that has had mostly negative reviews on Steam is Jedi Survivor.
Yep.
Now, apparently, the PC version is incredibly broken.
Yep.
I love the fact that like this like, I'm going to read this paragraph here. Star Wars Jedi Survivor didn't launch in the best condition. Despite positive reviews and a great overall reception, the PC version of the game was incredibly broken, leading to it launching with a mostly negative review on Steam. However, Redfall somehow managed to launch in an even worse condition, taking the pressure off of Respawn Entertainment. Like, let's just shove them under the bus a little bit more, eh?
I mean, how bad does it have to get in the gaming world where you're using another game to be okay with where you are?
that makes I feel real sorry for Arcane here because like Respawn are not getting as much backlash as Redfall as Arcane are, and I think that's really bad because Respawn are known for making polished games, right? And they've just released a a broken game on PC.
Yeah.
And they're just like, but have you heard Redfall's really bad?
Yeah.
Guys, it's fine. It's fine. We're not as bad as Redfall.
It
all
is,
right? You're getting your bonuses this month.
Yeah. But like the thing that the part of news I was actually reading about is that people that have ordered the deluxe edition of Jedi Survivor, obviously comes with a bunch of extras, doesn't it? Generally, like cosmetics and like that for your game. A lot of people are complaining that these extras are disappearing from their games, then reappearing, then disappearing again. So there's obviously an issue with it somewhere like that for all the bonus content. EA is aware of the situation, it says, and if we have any updates, we hope to be able to share them with you as soon as possible. In the meantime, it's recommended to try to repair the game files to see if that restores access to the bonus items for you, or make sure that the DLCs are installed correctly. Basically blaming the people that have bought the game for not being able to download games properly. But you know, I mean, it's just in this theme at the moment where things are being released not ready to be released. Like, I know what Zonk was just saying there. At least it's only the PC version, but even still, like the PC version should have been tested enough that it should have ran without any issues to coincide with the console. Like, because that's the thing. If you're releasing a subpar version on PC, you're going to stop people buying it on PC. They'd rather just, you know, like you said, I know a lot of people like their frame rates and stuff like that. But at the same time, you'd rather play a game that still plays and looks good on a console than pay out £70 for a game that just doesn't work. I think that's the biggest thing I think that's coming out of these two major AAA games that have been released is the fact that they are a lot of money. And they've both been released with a lot of issues. That's me.
I couldn't find anything in that 2 minutes or 10 minutes that you guys were.
Some
I'm
good news.
Really sorry. I'm okay. In my defense, I'm hungover, so I barely did the main discussion. I really thought about it.
Hair of the dog. I'll get a beer now.
I guess what I will do is I will tack on to these 2 points here, and I listened to a really interesting comment from a podcast that I listened to, and they said about like these were both critically not acclaimed, but they the critic ratings and pre-release versions of the game were well received, weren't they? So they obviously there's two things here. Either they were given a game that worked, and then it's in between it working, the pre-release version that they were given, then was it broken here and then released, or were they asked, can you just, this version that you are playing might have bugs because you're not playing the released version of it, so can you not mention the bugs when you are reviewing the game, because when we release it they will be fixed. So now in my mind, is that what they're doing? Are they saying, oh, this is a pre-release version, as you know, you're reviewing a pre-release, so don't mention any bugs? So can we trust what is being said by critics?
So generally speaking, if a games company were to go to a critic and say, oh, this is this version, there's going to be bugs, can you not talk about that is a red flag for the critic to go, no, I will still talk about the bugs, but I will make it very known that this is not the release, like the version that will be going out on first day. If they don't, then they're shit critic, and obviously we have those. The other thing is they will be given the best possible build that can be given out. And that does mean, and this has happened this year, that then the only keys that might be given out are PS5, or only Xbox, or only PC. So
the ones that work.
Yes.
Yeah. So not
it's
seeing the bugs
very
because
dependent.
Yeah.
Like publishers, games companies will do anything they could do to not show as many bugs as possible. The biggest problem I can see, and it is a likely scenario, is in between the master build that will probably be the one that the critics are playing and the day one patch, something has gone fundamentally wrong in the testing of that, and something slipped through.
Why would you change
feels like that?
Why would you change something if you're getting if you're getting the reviews beforehand?
There are many reasons to do it. There might not be some like mechanics that are available in the master build. They're not quite there, so you're not in. Some of the art won't be perfect. There are plenty of reasons to do a build in between master that was still a good build.
Yeah. Crazy, but that's how it goes.
And how it be sometimes.
More news about game failures. There are no more failures this week.
Please, no more failures.
Like, because the only game that's releasing that of any importance in the next week is Zelda, so we better not get it. Oh, it's already been leaked, isn't it? So, you know, that was a news point that I could have talked about, but didn't.
I will say this before we move on. I did see someone say that, like, obviously, when it was released, I see a lot of TikToks and stuff, like someone saying, oh, I wouldn't pay $70 for Redfall. My favourite thing was that someone said, this makes Tiny Tina's Wonderlands look good. So, I thought you'd enjoy that one, Bendy.
Again, it's a game I didn't fucking hate, okay? It didn't work, but still, I didn't fucking hate it. So maybe I'm just so jaded with the current state of gaming that I'm just like, yeah, it doesn't work, but it's fine. I enjoy playing it with my friends.
This is the state we've got to of. Yeah, it's fine. It's not tiny brick. It's fine.
7 out of 10. Kind of doesn't work, but still, fucking, it's fine. I can play it. 10 out of 10. Would recommend.
Cool. So,
yeah.
So what we did this week was I found a thing on TikTok where it was basically if Benny wants to flash her sheet real quick. It was like a form of like your gaming picks for certain categories. So we've all filled that out, and I'm not sure we haven't.
Bingo card.
Yeah. We've not really worked out the logistics of this. Are we going to do it category like go category and then all reveal that one each as we move on?
So.
Yeah.
Right, okay. But what we do, bear with me, the cameras are going to go a bit funny. But if you are in the podcast Discord, if someone could do the exclamation for us, and you want to join us on that, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the sheet up in the.
That's not it.
He's so much weird.
That's not the command.
Okay, right. Okay. So I've put the sheet up into Discord in the general chat. So why has that not worked? Anyway, let me have a look at Moobot. What are you doing?
Moo.
Moobot.
Do you know what we?
It's not working.
So do you know what we didn't do at the top of this? We didn't introduce ourselves.
You all know who we are by now.
General, Admiral, Martial Idiots. That's all you need to know.
That's all you need to know.
Let me have a look.
What?
I haven't done a Discord one apparently, so I'm good like that. Anyway, well, if you're not here now, yeah, it'll be on a
in the link tree.
It'll be in the link
tree in the thingy
on this episode. So if you do want to come and fill that out and follow us, but if you are here in the chat, you probably should already be in the Discord.
Major disappointment. Yeah, that's what they call me.
Anyway, so what we do
feel so attacked right now.
So it's a about you in video games, and there are, what's that, 6, 12, there's 18 categories, which we're probably just going to fly through pretty quick because we've been going for like an hour and a half already.
Smash. All of them are the same games, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah. So, I mean, obviously you can have a little explanation if you want, or if there was others that you was fighting to put in that category but didn't choose, feel free to go for it. But we'll start off with favourite game of all time. Smash or pass? Absolutely, Bandit. You're right. So, favourite game of all time. Go.
Majora's Mask, obviously.
So what? No.
Obviously.
Witcher 3.
Witcher 3. Right. Okay. Mine is Donkey Kong Country.
Nice.
It's good. It's a good one. I can get on board with that.
Oh, I can't. You can attack me back in person in a few weeks. Oh my god. We don't abide for physical violence here at the podcast.
But we will allow it.
No.
Bendy does. But yes.
I'll smack you outside the head, boy.
If you don't want to fill in the sheet, favourite game of all time, type it in the chat now. You can just do that. You can play along as we go.
Go.
Why isn't everyone's favourite? Well, I'm assuming Zonk's choice is Baldur's Gate then. Kingdom Hearts from Bandit. Good choice. I did like Kingdom Hearts. Yeah.
So I guess it's not my favourite game because I've never played it. Sorry, Zonk.
Yep.
I mean, Baldur's Gate 3.
I did do that.
With the sphincters. Master
Well,
Dan with The Last of Us.
That's not
surprising.
Answer.
Truesaurus said Redfall. I'm going to assume that. I didn't read the rest of the comment, so.
Yeah, Dreadful. Oh, you mean Dreadful?
Dreadful.
Oh, bubbles. Oh no! What was my one yesterday?
Wait. I got it.
There we go. No, when the guy in the chat asked what we was playing, I put more like Red Fail. And I left. Why haven't people played Baldur's Gate? This is not the time. Okay, next one. Favorite series. So Bendy.
Zelda.
Are all of these going to be Zelda games? Is this?
Yes.
Okay.
Absolutely.
We won't come to you anymore then. Nettle. Destiny. Cool.
Yeah.
Mine is Ratchet and Clank. Absolutely
Obviously,
love Ratchet and Clank. Favorite game series, people, throw them up in the chat. Let's go. Metal Gear, Masto Dan. Sly Cooper.
Metal Gear, Sly Cooper, Mass Effect. Yeah. All good uns.
Yeah.
All good uns.
Yeah, I've tried Mass Effect so many times, I just can't get into it.
Yeah.
Just can't. I get to a certain point and I'm like, I'm bored of talking to people now. A little bit like in real life. Right. So next category. Love Ratchet and Clank. That along with Zelda and Kingdom Hearts are my top series for me. You only get to choose one, Trisora. That's the whole point of this. Next one, best soundtrack. Nettle.
Fallout 3.
Oh, Bendy. Fallout 3.
Fallout
Fallout
3.
3. Wow. Okay.
Because I'm gonna justify it because it's got some excellent music from the 50s that I absolutely love. And if I'm going to listen to a soundtrack to get me going, it will be the Fallout 3 track list on Spotify.
Kingdom Hearts again.
Nettle?
Bandit, you have to not be Kingdom Hearts to everything. I struggled with this one, okay? But I went with Outer Wilds in the end because I think the soundtrack to that is beautiful for an indie. But my close second and third were Ori, just both games, Ori and Will of the Wisp, Ori and Blood, and Destiny, because they both have the most amazing soundtracks. And I did use them all in my wedding.
That's very good. There's some good choices in the chat here. Kingdom Hearts by two people.
I like Bandit's comment of, I see that you are a human of culture, replying to True Sora there.
Yeah, Master Dan with GTA San Andreas. My one, see now, I put this in
That's a good soundtrack.
Because I love this, but I am again, huge shout out to Speedstorm because that soundtrack was great. Stardew Valley only just lost out on this because Stardew Valley has got an amazing soundtrack to it.
Lost out.
But it's Hades.
Oh my!
Yes. I hear it.
You're welcome.
Yep.
No, they have the best soundtracks in their games. They are fantastic.
I cannot wait for Hades 2.
Has a good soundtrack to it.
So good.
It's Ashley? What's her face? Dan. What's his face? I can never remember the second name.
It's in the blood. It's such a good song though in that when you're like, oh. Anyway, so carry on gushing. Next one, favorite protagonist. Bendy, come on, we'll go in that order. Bendy.
It's different. It's different. Evie Fry.
Evie Fry. Ooh, good. Yeah, nice choice. Nice choice.
And I think it's an aesthetic thing here, but also a special mention to Emily Caldwell.
Yeah.
From Dishonored. Yeah.
Yep. Nettle?
Siri. Because she's a damn good girl.
You know what? It took me so long to work out that you went from. I'm sitting there going, why is she talking about Siri on a fucking iPhone?
She does as I ask her
to. Cool.
Siri, play Careless Whisper.
Yeah. Good thing my earplugs are in because my one would. My favourite protagonist is Ratchet.
Yeah,
it's an easy one. Like the thing is, I was trying to do different answers for everything, but sometimes some of these were just you could have had the same game for like pretty much most of this, but
I did.
Bandit says that it's a hard one. That's what she said. Solid Snake, Roxas from yeah, cool, Roxas, yeah. Mastodon's a big Metal Gear fan, isn't he?
Yeah,
I remember watching him play through most of them.
Best series. Solid Snake is a good shout, though.
Yep.
So,
well,
if you're a Metal Gear fan, definitely.
You kind of see where this is going with favourite protagonist on this one. A favourite villain is now the next category, Bendy.
Mine is so obvious, Handsome Jack. So obvious.
It's a good one. It's a good one.
Yeah, fucking love. He's great. He thinks he's the hero. He's not the hero. He's the villain. Love him. Great.
Metal?
Jojo Mart.
Jojo Mart.
That took me a while to get. Yeah, but now I understand.
Oh, wow.
It's the worst villain. Valley. We all hate them.
Jojo Mart. Love it.
Jojo Mart.
I like that. That's a very good and well thought out answer.
Excellent.
Mine is also Handsome Jack.
Nice. He has a special place in our heart.
How could it not be Handsome Jack? He is just so good. Yeah. Metal Gear is all right.
He's all right. I like the way you wrote that.
Yeah,
Great.
It took me a second to work it out. I'm glad I was reading it several times before I tried to actually say it.
What?
Oi. Like the next one could be quite difficult. Best story. Bendy.
I've gone with Majora's Mask again because and it will come up again later why. So I'm going to leave it as that.
Just a quick go back to favourite villain, Vass from Far Cry 3 for Zonk. That's a very good option.
Yeah.
I will say Far Cry are very good at their villains.
Far Cry villains are great because a shout out to, I've forgotten his name. Well, the guys from Far Cry 5, I've forgotten who their fucking names though.
Joseph Seed.
The Seeds, yeah. The Seed family.
Yeah. True Sora. What about Phil Spencer for best villain? Hey,
okay. He tries his best, okay? He's not really a villain.
He thinks he's the hero.
He definitely thinks he's the hero.
Dutch from Red Dead 2. Oh, that's a good shout. Yeah.
That's a good one.
So yeah, sorry, best story.
Also, the Pinkertons.
Pinkerton. Weren't there a thing that they got sent out in real life recently?
They are a real thing.
Yeah.
They probably done something shady.
Anyway, sorry, Nettle, carry on.
I'm going to be honest, I don't have anything. I really struggled with this one. I didn't want to just put The Witcher 3 or Destiny again, because obviously they are my favourite games and that's where I go. But there are so many good stories. Like there's Kina, there's all sorts. And I really struggled to pick one, so I didn't.
Wow, just abdicating from the question. Cool. Well, Bandit's saying Red Dead 2 for story.
Is that because you can rescue people and kill them?
Hog tie. We love a good hog tie.
See, now, my best story changed. It was one thing, and then I remembered a game that I absolutely loved the story in, and I won't tell you what the other one was, but my top choice now is Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild.
Oh. Yeah.
I love that game. Honestly, it's the only Zelda game I've ever played, and it's like in my top 5 games of ever.
It's got a great story, but overall it hits Majora's Mask hits me more because it's more my vibe.
Then that's only because I've not played them. So
yeah.
So Macedon is torn between Red Dead 2 and The Last of Us for best story.
Zonkt. I thought The Last of Us would come out in the chat.
Yeah.
As one of the best stories.
Zonkt has put Pillars of Eternity. Can't ever say I've ever played that. Or Suikoden 2 again. Can't say I've ever played that.
But we're glad you like this story, Zonkt.
Bandit just likes getting Nettle drunk in speakeasies. I mean, what you do in your own time, Bandit and Nettle, is up to you. Just right, next one. Have not played but want to. So Bendy.
God of War, obviously.
God of War, very good choice.
God of War,
very good choice.
Very good choice.
Nettle.
Titanfall 2. I never played Titanfall 2.
It's good.
This one will probably please Bendy, but my choice is Wind Waker.
Yay! It did please me.
Always wanted to play Wind Waker. It just looks so much fun.
When they remake it for the Switch, or they do a
it was remade for Wii U, wasn't it?
If they put it on the Nintendo 60, the GameCube one that they'll bring out on the extensions, definitely play it. Yep. Highly recommend.
Cool. And then
Master Dad, you've never played Ocarina of Time. I mean, I know. Again, I highly recommend. Ocarina of Time is brilliant. Great story. Splits the timeline. That's how great it is.
You've never played Gears of War, Bandit? I mean, I must admit, I've only played up to 3. I haven't played any of the newer ones, but Gears of War is a very good game.
If you want a multiplayer, get on it. It's got great multiplayer. Gears.
Gears is a decent game to play.
It scared me.
Only played Breath of the Wild and Link to the Past. I mean, to be fair, I'm very much in the same boat as you, Master Dan.
Link to the Past is also a very good story too.
I mean, I say I've only ever played Breath of the Wild, but like as a kid, I had the original Zelda, but I can't really class myself as playing it because I would literally run around lost. I was like 10, I didn't know nothing about Zelda, so like I don't count it as playing it because I never played it and finished it, if you know what I mean. Ocarina of Time should be required playing for all gamers.
Agreed.
All right, so
agreed.
Once True Sora is made gaming president of the world.
Can I be your vice president, please, Ashley?
So next up, this is difficult because these next two are not necessarily, like, I'm gonna say, like, this next one is games that you love, everyone hates. Now this is difficult because obviously people do like this. I think this is gonna be, these are gonna be quite ambiguous, but go with Bendy to start.
Okay, because it was a difficult one, and I actually do hate this game but love it at the same time. Fallout 76. Like, everybody hates it,
Yeah,
and I understand why they hate it, and I also hate it, but also I had a really good time playing it. So
no,
when I
get
did
that.
enjoy it, I enjoyed it. Yeah, that's like, yeah.
It got a lot of grief on release and stuff, didn't it? So as well, so because like a lot of hardcore Fallout fans didn't like it because they didn't think it was like, felt like Fallout or something, didn't it?
Yeah. Yeah. Put that in.
Nettle.
I'm going very specific here because God, did I struggle with this one. I'm going with Curse of Osiris, which is technically a DLC rather than a game in itself. But the general Destiny populace hated Curse of Osiris, and it was a bad DLC, but also it gave us a lot of really cool stuff. So
that's fair enough. This is kind of a comeback to something that was mentioned earlier on in the thing. Now, this is the thing. It's a game I love, but it's not something that everyone hates. I just don't think it gets the love it should kind of deserve, because I think the problem is, I think, is it got released at the wrong times because it went up against other games that just swamped it, and that is Horizon Zero Dawn.
Yeah, I agree with you there. I
just don't think it
get the.
Yeah,
you got your hardcore fans, but it was up against a good few.
And the thing is, like, obviously, I've played through it. I've played through Forbidden West as well. I absolutely love Forbidden West. Both fantastic games, but I cannot remember what game it came up against. But Forbidden West come up against another massive AAA game, and just it got forgotten about, you know. And I think it's one of them game series that is really good. If you sat and spent time and played it, like, you really enjoy it. Like, story wise, it's fantastic, but I think it just gets lost in the ether. Like, it's easily forgotten about as a game, considering how good it is.
Bandit's got a good one, Anthem. A lot of people hated that game. I've never played it, so I've got no comment, but obviously they love it. So
it was the lack of content I think people got really annoyed about with that one.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Master Dan is saying Metal Gear Solid 4. I know a lot of people didn't get on with it because of the long cutscenes, but it's my third favourite. That's fair. Zonkta's agreed with Anthem. He's also said his choice would be State of Decay 2.
Yeah, a lot of people hated that, but I also know a lot of people who love it. It's very Marmite-y, that game. It's either you love it or you hate it, I think. I quite enjoyed it. The bits of it that I played.
So again, this next one is a game you hate that everyone loves. So again, it's the same kind of thing. And I'm going to put this out there, is it's not necessarily a game I hate. It's a game I just don't care for. I think is more of the way I've gone with that, because it's kind of difficult. I'm going to go first with this one, but it's The Last of Us.
That was also mine.
I was gonna be that person, and I was also gonna put Last of Us, but I just thought that would be too obvious. So I chose Call of Duty because I just don't like them, and I don't get their appeal.
That's fair enough. We've upset Mastodon. We've upset Mastodon. Look, but this is the thing, Mastodon. Like I said, it's not that I hate it. It's just it just doesn't do anything for me to make me want to play it. Unfriending Nell and Tempusbe.
I got zonked. The fuck?
Halo?
No, I understand. I understand why people don't like Halo.
I get that. I
totally get it. I love it, but I get why people don't like it.
No.
I tried playing through. I tried playing through Halo recently, and I just got bored and couldn't get into it. So I agree with Zonkt on that one.
I mean, I'm a Bungie fangirl. Anything they make, I love.
So the next one, although hang on, we got a few more people.
Bingo!
The Lego
What about bingo?
games from Bandit. I kind of get that Lego games. You know,
hate Last of Us. I just remember what
Unnamed
happened.
Gaming Podcast hates The Last of Us. That's now history. We'll remember that. It's
To be
headline
fair,
news tomorrow.
The amount of times we talk about how much we don't like The Last of Us on this podcast, you should have known that that would be most of our answers. I love the show. Love the show. That was great.
Yeah. But because it has Pedro Pascal in it.
Yeah, the show was brilliant. Master Dan has said Left 4 Dead was he thought Left 4 Dead was never when it come out. I enjoyed Left 4 Dead. It was, I think, the first person shooter I ever played, so I kind of enjoyed that. But I can understand it. I think Left 4 Dead 2 got a little bit of, wasn't as good as Left 4 Dead like the first one. What puts you off the game? I don't know. I've watched several people play it, and it's just something about it. I'm just like, I've got no urge to sit and play this myself. Nothing makes me go, I want to jump in this. I want to feel it myself, you know. But
I've made my point before of why I'll never play The Last of Us. It's its fucking fans. I'm sorry. Just stop telling me to play the game. Just stop it. I understand it's great. I just don't. Stop telling me to play it, please. Please. Although I'm exactly the same as Zelda, and I get that. I totally get it. But the people that just try and force things on me when I say that I don't want to play it, and they're like, "But you won't know you like it until you play it." It's like, no, I don't. I know. I don't. Stop it.
yeah, I kind of get it. Like, it's one of them ones that you feel like it's being forced down your throat all the time. You feel attacked.
I love you.
Let's move on.
Yeah.
So the next category is best art style.
This one's going to be obvious for me. It's Borderlands. Borderlands is my favorite. Was
also top of my list until I just changed it at the last second.
I think it was also as well to fight that is the fact that Borderlands cosplays look great. Yeah. And like cell shading, although technically it's not cell shading, is just nice.
He's nice.
He's nice. I actually went for It Takes Two. I really enjoyed the character art for that. I thought it was very well done. And yeah, generally a very pretty, aesthetically interesting game.
I really enjoyed that. Very good game. I've repeated an answer from earlier in the game, and it's in the list, and it's Hades. Again.
I mean, to be fair,
again,
I would happily go with any super giant game. Like Transistor's gorgeous. They're all beautiful.
That absolutely should be on people's top lists of art styles. I also like to do a little bit of shout out to arcane games, so like Dishonored and the other one, the Loop one, Deathloop. They look fantastic. And also
Manager.
Great graphics. Love Football Manager. The best art style.
Bandit. Okami was the first game that come to my head when I saw this question as well.
Is Okami the one with the paint?
Yeah.
The Japanese style.
So you're the wolf.
That is gorgeous. That's a gorgeous looking game. I've never played it, but it does look freaking gorgeous.
Yeah, I've played some of it. I haven't finished it or anything, but so Wind Waker, great art style.
Wind Waker art style. Yeah. I think I've said this before on the podcast how adverse I was to it, but it was again, I was choosing between Borderlands, Wind Waker, or arcane games. So, but I put Borderlands topped those two, but Wind Waker was on my list. Yeah.
I own it on Xbox Bandit as well. I got it for like £7 in the sale, so it's not hard to get. Of Nino Kuni would be your proper answer, Zonkt.
Nino Kuni, nice. Elden Ring, Elden Ring has oh my god, the environmental art for Elden Ring is absolutely gorgeous. It's beautiful.
FromSoft do well with their art styles.
They're so good, especially their environmental art styles are just.
I like the True Story is defending Redfall once again.
Again, the art in Redfall,
Redfall, okay?
Yeah, we didn't complain about how good it looked.
Good.
That was not a complaint we had. Right.
My auntie's looking forward to that as well.
So, next category, favorite ending in a game.
So, linking back to my best story, the ending of Majora's Mask, when you specifically if you have done all of the side bits as well, because it slightly changes what your ending cutscene is. So if you do everything and you meet everybody and you do all of their bits, you get every single member of Termina in your cutscene, and I think that is excellent because like you saved everybody by doing it all, and I just love that. And then you pan through all of these people that you've met and you've saved their lives and stuff. It's just like I saved us. The moon didn't fall, and also technically, I also like the ending if you let the moon fall because that cutscene is very cool as well. Like the moon just coming down. It's like sad, so sad, but you know, so both endings are great. There you go. That's mine. Carry on.
Fair enough. Nettle?
Portal 2. When you're coming up and all of the turrets are singing you, and then you come outside to the fresh wheat field. However, you already know that can't be the ending for it because there has been what happened at the end of the what's it called second one. I can't remember the name now. My brain's not working.
Dead Space? No.
You know what I mean?
Half-Life.
Half-Life 2, because Portal 2 is before Half-Life 2. So, yeah.
That's fair.
Yeah, I love the ending of it.
Let's see. So, Macedan has said the OG Metal Gear Solid.
Yeah.
Bandit, Kingdom Hearts 2, and Zogta said 12 minutes.
Oh shit, that's
the top-down looper game, isn't it? Yeah.
That's got I've forgotten the actor's name. James Avery in it. That's right, and Daisy Ridley.
It's James McAvoy.
Yeah.
That's McAvoy. McAvoy. Yeah, that's it.
So favorite ending for me, God of War. It's just a superb story throughout that game, and the ending is just fantastic. And it leads on so well to like what's to come. So, Willem Dafoe's in it as well. Oh. Not God of War, 12 minutes. Willem Dafoe plays Kratos from now on. Right, so
oh my god, I'm somewhat of a God of War myself.
So next one is your favourite boss fight from a game. Bendy.
I went with a mini boss rather than an actual boss because I really like the mechanics behind it. So Ocarina of Time, so most of us here probably haven't played it, but there's the mini boss called the Poe Sisters, and they are ghosts, and you have to hit them in different areas to then light up certain things to then move on. And I just really like the fact you have to go to different areas and then get them out of like different parts, like it's different ways to get them out and then to kill them, and you hit them with an arrow, and then it's really cool, and they look really cool. I liked that. Was my favorite boss.
Very good.
No.
Riven from Forsaken. the raided Forsaken Last Wish. She is fucking hard. Every single member of your team has to be doing something throughout that entire boss fight. There's so many different mechanics, but they're fun to do. And then you get to kill her and run inside her and steal her heart.
Lovely.
That's cool. I went with Mr. Freeze from Arkham City.
Oh, that is a good one.
I love that as a boss fight because you have to use all your different takedown techniques, but once you've used one, he learns from it, and you cannot use it again. And like,
which is very Mr. Freeze, isn't it? Like, would make sense for his character. Love it.
Yeah, no, I it's probably the best boss fight from any of the Batman games at all. Like, some of them are crap, like the Joker one at the end of Arkham Asylum. That's the only thing that lets that game down. is the Joker, like being a Titan at the end. And then obviously the fucking stupid giant drill in Arkham Knight. You're driving around in the back. Everything was Batmobile heavy in Arkham Knight. That's my only.
The Batmobile bits of that were the worst.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
But going into chat with Bandit says Boulder from Gears of War, God of War. Yeah, there's very good boss fight, that one. Especially the fact that you obviously have to fight him twice. And they're both very especially that first initial boss fight as well. Like if you don't know the story of the game, it's so cool. Master Dan has got Calamity Ganon / Dark Beast Ganon from Breath of the Wild.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Yep. Trusora Skyward Sword is a fun boss fight where you fight it by whipping off its arms. Cool.
Yeah, I think I remember that, but Skyward Sword not my favorite.
Didn't you rage quit Skyward Sword?
Yeah, and I rage quit it again when I bought it HD.
And as Bandit says, improvise, adapt, and overcome, Mr. Freeze. That's that. You need to take you need to take that into Skyward Sword.
Or, you know, I've forgotten the quote from Batman and Robin.
Live, laugh, love.
And it's going to be a freeze.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I know. Fucking terrible one-liners. Right, so we're down to the bottom row. We've got 6 categories left. So someone can't think of a favourite boss fight.
Go.
Childhood game.
Super Mario World.
Very well. Good choice. Was on my list.
NES.
Was on my list.
Mine...
Tetris from the wife.
Tetris, yeah. Zeus, Master of Olympus. Love it. Little city builder game increase.
Cool. Bandit said Spyro. Decent game. Mine is original
Streets of Rage.
Super Mario Kart.
Yeah,
that's good.
We played the shit out of that as kids. Streets of Rage from Zonkt. Crash Bandicoot 3. Why is it Crash Bandicoot 3, Master Dan? You don't make me feel old as it is. You have to go with Crash Bandicoot 3 as your childhood game. The third in the series.
Oh, want to do a little shout out to GoldenEye? Little shout out to
GoldenEye. GoldenEye, yes.
Yeah.
Oh.
Not my like personal. It just reminds me of playing with my brothers and them letting me play Oddjob because I was shit.
Yep.
I would like to give a shout out to Crayola Rocks, which was the first game I technically ever played at the age of 4 or 5 years old.
Oh.
I mean, we had the original Nintendo, so I could have said like just Super Mario Bros, but I was like, no.
I don't want people to know how old I am.
And they know I'm old. Right, so
can I choose a cartridge? So Super Mario All Stars.
Yes,
okay,
great.
We've got
great
the
choice.
Super Mario games are good childhood games.
They are fantastic. I mean,
Let's go.
Super Mario 2 is my favourite out of them. Feel ancient. How can you feel ancient? You've chosen Crash Bandicoot 3 as your childhood game. It was like PlayStation 2. Anyway, next one. Relaxing game. Bendy.
Unpacking.
Yes. Almost my choice.
Very good. Stardew Valley for me.
I knew that was coming.
Almost was on my list too. But I've gone for something slightly different. I went with Raft.
Oh, I can see that.
Because I just...
Although when the shark attacked, how was that relaxing?
Yeah, but he attacks me because I've jumped in his territory, really, isn't he? But it's just the fact that you're just coasting along on the ocean, just collecting stuff, you're just building up this boat. I really enjoyed it. There was no like stress to it at all.
Bandit, when you say jet wash sim, do you actually mean power wash simulator?
Same thing, right? Same thing.
But yes, both of those are good choices, Bandit.
Yes, true, Sora. I did make that comment. That's actually Doki Doki Panic, but because I'm a true gamer and I know these things, and I'm wearing glasses.
Anyway, so City Skylines at the minute from Zonkt.
Yes, nice.
So next one, stressful game. The opposite.
Any Souls-like that I've played, like I'll never get through them because they're too stressful. I can't. Who even fucking dodges?
Nettle.
Stardew Valley. Have you ever tried?
Wait, is this entire bottom row Stardew Valley? Yeah.
Yes. Have you ever tried to fish when you are trying to get one of the speciality fish on your fishing rod and it will just not fucking stay still?
Son of a bitch.
I do stress at this. Stardew Valley is the most relaxing game in the world. If you haven't quite got a crop ready when you want to put it into the fucking community center and it's coming to the end of that season and you're about to lose about 15 fucking parsnips, I rage so hard.
So Zonctus said The Surge was hard as balls.
Ooh.
Trusora, every game I play at some point stresses me out. I mean, that's fair.
This is very true.
That is
yeah.
fair.
That's
Overwatch and Bandit.
Yeah,
except play unpacking. That doesn't stress you out because you can just.
Yeah. Wait, how does Power Wash Simulator stress you out, Dan?
No, he's saying that's his relaxing game he's played.
Oh, okay, that's fine.
His stressful game is actually Elden Ring. So,
Elden Ring is
Overwatch was very nearly on this list
for
me. It could have easily as well been Warzone.
I was going to say, if it's not Warzone, you're lying.
No, you're gonna understand why, Nettle, when I say my most stressful game is Crash Team Racing. I literally almost had a breakdown on stream playing that game.
I've never laughed so much in my life.
Like, I honestly was so angry, I muted the people I was playing with.
Reese and Hall were kicking his
ass. It weren't the fact that I was losing to Reese and Hole. It had nothing to do with that. It's the fact that I was last to all the NPCs in this game every time. And it was doing my head in so much. Like, I was this close to just closing down stream, not saying goodbye to anyone. I was like, I've had enough.
So funny.
But we won't talk about that ever again because the next category is a game you always come back to. Your comfort game, Bendy.
Ocarina of Time.
Oh,
I've played that game. I must have completed that game fully 20 times. Like,
that's fair.
Give or take. Yeah. And that's not like me starting it again and not finishing it, which I have also done. But yeah, Ocarina of Time. Fucking love that game. Great.
Fair enough. Nell?
I want to caveat mine with, because of the people I play with, Phasmophobia. Always
yes.
just keep coming back to it.
Yeah.
With Temp and Hol and everyone.
So. That's very good. Could have also been on the stressful game list when we first started. My game I always come back to, it's my turn to say Stardew Valley. It had to be on the list somewhere, didn't it? Because, you know, it almost made a couple of sections, but it had to go somewhere. We've got 2 more categories to go. You don't have one. I must carry on with achievements. Zoncta doesn't replay games.
No.
Metal Gear Solid. Macedon says he's played it 20 plus times.
Jesus.
Bandit, yes.
Good shout, Master.
Overwatch could have easily been on my list there too, Bandit. So next one, Guilty Pleasure. This was difficult. Found this one quite difficult.
I copped out.
Right.
I play games because I want to play games. So no game is a guilty pleasure for me. Because I want to play it.
That's fair
enough. No guilt in playing it. That's so copped out.
He just couldn't be bothered.
I have done enough thinking at this point. Okay.
There's only 2 categories left. Nettle.
Exactly.
Mine's a bit of a weird one. It was Warzone when we used to play it. Because as much as I fucking hated that game, I did get a little bit of like, I'll just kill that guy. Yeah. And it's one of those, I think it's a game that everybody was like hated on, but actually they kind of enjoyed playing it every so often.
Yep.
So.
For me, it's one that I did mention earlier that I've gone back to playing. It's Animal Crossing.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna say it's a guilty pleasure because like this is like the 4th time I've restarted an island to play through it all again. Like I've not kept my original island from it, and I just every now and like you just get that whim. You're just like, I just want to play Animal Crossing. I just want to choose villagers and build houses. But yeah, I enjoy it, and I've been playing it again recently. So Bandit and True Sword both agreed on Fortnite.
I get it.
I can see why. Yeah, I can see why.
Yeah.
Final category for the day to end the podcast. You don't believe in guilty pleasures, Master Dan. You can go and sit on that other. You can go and sit on the fence with Bendy.
On Apex.
Zonkta said Apex. Yeah.
Yeah. Another group shooter. Yeah.
Skyrim. I've got hundreds and hundreds of hours in Skyrim. And the reason it's not my game I go back to is because that's like, I've not gone back to it after playing those 200 hours.
Sorry, I must have accidentally hit a button to mute my thing. The category is tons of hours played, by the way, if you didn't hear that. Thank you very much. I don't know what I pressed to mute my microphone just then, but anyway, sorry. Skyrim.
Skyrim for Bendy.
Yes. Very good choice. Because it's the kind of game that's been out. It's a bit like GTA 5 at this point. It's been out on every inclination of console.
GTA is another one of them where I've got a bunch of hours in it, especially when it first came out.
Nettle.
So boring and so obvious, Destiny 2, but it's true. It's the only game that I've got so many hours in.
That's fair. To be fair, this is my Overwatch choice. Yeah. This was the only option I had for me. I've got thousands of hours in Overwatch.
Yeah.
It's not even funny how many hours I've got in Overwatch. So yeah, and then last few in the chat, Bandit, World of Warcraft.
That's another one that could have possibly been on the list. Yeah.
You've got 1,000 hours on both Titanfall and Battlefield 3, Zonked. Honestly,
otherwise Breath of the Wild.
My partner's probably the same on Battlefield 3. Thousands of hours, yeah.
Breath of the Wild,
the
Mastodon, 100% it apart from the Korok seeds because I can't be asked.
There's fucking 800 of them. No.
Can't wait to find out what the collectible is in Tears of the Kingdom.
Oh god, it'll probably be Korok seeds again. Like no.
Hey, look, we went through our catalogue and we realised we're missing another 962. Can you collect them for us? But yeah, I didn't bother with the Korok seeds. I'm not a completionist of games. It's very rare that I will sit and try and 100% something. I only have like maybe a handful of games that I have fully completed, like Arkham Asylum. I've 100%ed that game because it was pretty simple to do compared to some of the others. And then as soon as you got to like Arkham City and bloody
fucking
Arkham Knight,
question mark,
stupid. Do you know what the stupid thing is? Arkham City was bad as well, and then obviously the other studio took over to do Arkham Origins in the middle. And Arkham Origins collectibles, it's a very that is a very easily 100%able game. And then they go back to bloody Arkham Knight, and it's like, we thought you'd got off lightly.
I've been told that I need to turn in my gamer card and my nerd glasses. Well, I don't want to turn in my nerd glasses because I need them to see. But here, have my gamer card. Have it.
The free flow perfection achievement was difficult on Batman. Yeah, I mean they don't make things easy for you, but they are still achievable if you're zonked and you want to get all the achievements anyway. But anyway, that is this episode. That is this week done and dusted. We have spoken for like 2 hours now. Over 2 hours. I hope you're happy.
I know you haven't seen us for a month, but I hope you're happy.
Yes. But thank you for joining us.
Yes.
Especially everyone getting involved in the chat as well. We love it.
We do love to see it.
So if you listen to us on Spotify or Apple podcast things, look, I'm old, I don't know technology, or you watch us on YouTube or anything like that, any of the podcasting sites, and you want to get involved with things like that, A, we've got a Discord that's in the link below, but B, we go live generally most Sundays, asterisks, not most Sundays, but trying to. At around at around 3 p.m. on a Sunday. So just follow us, and then you'll know when we go live, and you can get involved. We love the interaction. I think we all agree that we enjoy doing it this way more than we did just recording off on our own.
Yeah. We like being able to have you pop your stuff in the chat.
That's it.
Then us.
As Zonk
that's
said,
why it's a 2-hour podcast.
Yeah. As Zonk said, come and join the Redfall Appreciation Club here at the Unnamed Gaming Podcast.
We love it. I'm gonna go play Redfall now, and you say I'm joking. I'm actually gonna go play Redfall. You'll see it on Discord.
That's fair. We'll be playing it later. So we didn't do introductions, but let's do outroductions. Who have you been, Bendy?
I've been Bendy. I've been your Admiral Idiot.
Nettle.
I'm Nettle. I'm General Idiot.
And I'm Tempus, the Martial Idiot. But you can find us all in places on Twitter. And the internet.
Bendy Pens. Tempusbe.
There you go. But yes, you
all
can.
One word.
Yeah, or if you want to follow the podcast on Twitter, it's at T_U_G_P. Only took me 2 years. But yes, next episode of the podcast we'll be discussing where they got sued by the makers of Redfall. Probably.
Nothing we said was untrue.
Anyway.
Come at me, Arcane. Come at me.
Actually, don't, because I might want to work for you one day.
I mean, come at me and then hire me for something.
Come at me with a job opportunity.
Offer.
Please.
That's it.
Thanks.
Anyway, before this tails off too much longer, thank you for joining us, everyone. Yeah. We love you all. We'll see you all hopefully next week. But that's bye for now.
Bye.